big news out here from DTD. A good friend of mine and a good friend of a lot of you in the racing community has decided that it's time to call it a career. Last race of the career for Billy Van Pelt came this last Saturday night down at Woodhull. It was the honoring Alice 50-lap feature, and he won it. And he came into it hoping to go out on top. He did that very thing. So let's head on down to Westfield, Pennsylvania. Man, I can't believe we're doing this interview. Billy Van Pelt with me right now. How you doing, man?
Pretty good.
Sad? Happy? What's going through your head right now?
I'm happy.
Really?
I am very happy. I'm pretty sure I don't have any regrets.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever plan on racing again. Might hot lap a car for somebody trying to help them out, but I don't plan on racing.
Okay, yeah, because that was my question.
I wanted to go out with my win being the last.
I totally get that. Not many people can say they won the last time out.
Exactly, and it was a big one.
Yeah, that's true. Why was this so big? I guess I didn't know the history behind this particular race.
It was the first non-station for 5,500. We didn't get our Dale race, so for some reason that Brett Dale dropped Woodhull, and so Woodhull did their own little thing and did it on a Saturday night, and it was 400 to start, 5,500 to win, and I was playing around and doing stuff with the race cars throughout the season here, and I missed some races there anyway, traveling around a little bit, but I was experimenting and playing and trying to make sure I could be on top of the game when it comes time for the 5,500.
Did you knew coming into this past Saturday night, that this was going to be it?
I told the guys I hope we win because this is going to be the last race.
No pressure, huh?
No pressure at all. I just hoped that everything was going to work out.
When did you?
And it did. It ended up being great. It's a great night.
When did you know? Because I remember you told me earlier this year that you thought Kevin, his car owner, by the way, is Kevin Chilson, told me he was thinking about getting out. Did you kind of know for a few weeks or a few months that this was coming?
He told me the Sunday before that I could run to the end of the year, but he was going to be out of it, and we're going to sell everything at the end of the year. And right now, everything's for sale.
Okay. Did you think about
Trailers,
maybe continuing?
Cars. It just made my decision easier. I was thinking I was only going to run for maybe 1-2 more years, and being he pulled the plug, we got a brand new race car sitting there with a throwback scheme on it from back when I used to drive for my dad.
Uh-huh.
We never got the motor and never got to run it, and and Kevin just basically he's lost interest in it, and so it just made my decision a lot easier to saying, all right, well, if he's done, I'm done.
I guess I thought maybe you might all right, one more trip to 5 Mile Point, one more trip to Fonda, one more trip to Afton. Did you think about that maybe?
Might think about it, but I'm not going to do it.
Okay. So there was never a thought that, okay, I'm not just going to end it at Woodhull. I'm going to try to at least get a couple September, October shows in?
No, I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Mm-hmm. Well, you told me you're feeling kind of beaten up after all those years in the race car.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I raced one night with my shoulder and my ribs out one night there, and it was early in the season. I was really hurting, and I managed to win that night, but
wow.
I was hurting, and I make a trip to the chiropractor and get myself all put back into shape, and it seems like a weekly visit to the chiropractor after we get done racing on the weekend, and it's taking its toll, so I'm ready to not have to do that and be myself in pain all the time there with trying to get myself or get my body back in check.
You're not the first person I've talked to because there's no cushioned seats in these race cars, and sometimes the tracks might be a little rough. I guess I'm surprised anybody makes it even half as long as you do with their back.
Yeah. I mean, my seat fits tight. I wear the seatbelts tighter than probably most people do because I don't want to get hurt, but it's just, when you're correcting into the corner, I'm reaching out and across on the steering wheel, and it's always the same motion, and it's always the same. It's always my left side.
No, you're right.
Not so much my right side pounded against the seat. It's my left side where I reach across.
Yeah.
So it's starting to pull my shoulder out and pull my ribs out.
Yeah, and if you watch any in-car stuff, you're turning right more than you're turning left. So I could see how that would create a unique situation for your back, your side, and all those muscles in between.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Oh, that makes sense. Are you okay with this? I mean, because it's only been a few days. I mean, most people,
Well, it's been a little over a week because this last week I didn't go at all, so it's been a little over a week. So, yeah, I'm okay with it. I was okay with it when I went to the races that night,
okay.
and I announced it. I probably threw a lot of people for a loop. But,
Oh, you did it right there in Victory Lane?
I did it right in Victory Lane. I told everybody that I wouldn't be. I'd be done for the rest of the year. And at that point, I was thinking, maybe I might run something at the end of the year. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought, I think I made the right decision.
I'm surprised you haven't had somebody say, "Gee, I've got a car, Billy." Although you did tell me one person offered what to buy everything and put you in it.
Yeah, I had one person approach me and said I'd buy everything and put you in it if you wanted to run it for a couple more years. And I'm like, no.
Didn't even think about it for a
we
second?
want to sell it. I didn't even hesitate. I answered him just that quick.
And I'm sure some other people have said, "Hey, I got a ride for wherever." I mean, look, Kenny Brightbill's going to come back and run Dirt Week this year. So.
Oh, cool.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Going to run one of Larry White's cars.
Well, that'd be an awesome ride for him.
Mm-hmm. So if somebody said, "Hey, you want to get out there with Kenny Brightbill and run a couple laps at Super Dirt Week?" the answer would still be a flat no. See, I'm trying,
That'd
guys.
be a flat no right now. I'm
trying. Okay.
I know it. You're pushing. But
I know you were already a big name by the time I got in this business. So yeah, it makes me feel old knowing that, and I'm 6 years older than you are at this point. And of course, I'm battling back issues as well. So as you look back, is there one? Like, let's say some little kid came up and maybe didn't know much about it. Why, what have you won, Billy? What have you done? What would you tell him?
Oh, I probably wouldn't tell him much. I'd probably say I've won a couple races here or there.
Well, I know you want to be humble, but let's say, what was the biggest win you ever had?
Well, the biggest money one was this last Saturday.
Seriously? You never won more than $5,500 before?
No, my most before that was 53.
Oh, so it only beat it by $200.
Yeah.
There's not a.
That's still a big one.
Well, let's go to some of the basic questions that I ask somebody in this situation. What are you going to miss, and what aren't you going to miss?
Well, I'm sure I'm going to miss running the race car, but I'm not going to miss having to wash it every Sunday morning and work on it all week long.
Get that.
Even though I'm going to hopefully help people here and there, but I'm not going to have the everyday grind of making sure everything's right, going through the race car.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 2 days a week's the only time I didn't work on the race car.
That's it.
Yeah. Other than that, I was always working on it one way or another.
And that's when your wife would take like a motorcycle ride or something like that, right?
Side-by-side ride or go out to dinner.
Okay. So that's going to be something you'll be doing more of, I would imagine, this fall and next year.
Yes. We'll be doing little oddball things here and there, and without a doubt.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What aren't you going to miss outside of the, you talked about the work. Is there another aspect of it you're not going to miss?
Oh, I don't know.
I
hadn't really thought about it.
I can think of like bad nights at the racetrack. Maybe you're sitting there in the rain, waiting. Because there's little things that are kind of irritating, right?
Yeah. You're probably right there. I just never thought about it that much.
Okay.
I'm usually not the kind of guy that got real excited about a bunch of stuff anyway.
Really? That's true.
Yeah.
You always seem kind of a cool character to me. I never see you getting upset and that kind of stuff. So.
Well, I didn't do it for a living. It was a hobby, number one. So I kind of always kept that in mind. But I always went to the racetrack with the intent to try to win.
Okay.
I got asked a couple of times, why didn't you put a slide job on that guy? I said, because I want to race next week.
Yeah. No,
I didn't want to wreck the race car,
It's hard to believe.
It was a great race. I might not have won, but hey.
I'm sad
still
about
a great
this.
race, and I had a shot at it.
Well, I'm going to be down and see you soon because we're almost out of time already, believe it or not. So I wanted to make sure I chatted with Billy. We're going to share some more memories down the road, so make sure to look for some other things, and I'll get down there to Pennsylvania sometime and see, and we'll talk about the next chapter in Billy's life. Hey, enjoy the rest of the race from Weedsport tonight, man, and I hope I get a chance to see you soon because you know what it is. It's the racing brings you in, but the people keep you in. So I'll miss you, man.
All righty. Thanks, Doug.
Hit that blue E, subscribe. We'll do more. We'll share some more memories with Billy when we go down the road.